Hello everyone. In this module, we are going to learn how to create a donut chart in Matplotlib. And the following are the topics that we are going to discuss. Firstly, we will learn what is donut chart. After that, we will see difference between pie chart and the donut chart. Then we will see steps to create a donut chart and we will also see example related to this. I think everyone eats donuts. On the left hand side of my slide, I have 6 pictures of donuts. So today we will learn to create these donuts in the form of a chart in Matplotlib. Firstly, I tell you what is donut chart. A donut chart is nothing but the modified version of a pie chart where the center portion of the chart is removed. Similarly, like these donuts, we have hole inside it, and this chart is well organized in the term of space because the additional area in the center of the chart can be used to display additional information about the donut chart like labels. And donut is more concerned with the appropriate use of an arc area to depict information than a pie chart, which is more concerned with comparing the proportion area between the slices. So before we discuss how to create a donut chart, we will see difference between pie chart and the donut chart on the following basis. So in the previous module, you have seen that a pie chart is a circular in shape, but the donut chart is the variant of the pie chart with the hole in this center. And you have also learned that a pie chart show individual categories as a slices or a percentage of the whole, but the donut chart shows category as arc rather than the slices. I will show you in example. So now we will see some steps to create a donut chart. Donut chart is extended version of a pie chart. For that reason, we have to firstly create a pie chart. Then we have to draw a circle of a appropriate size. And in last, we have to add this circle in the pie chart's center. So now we will see an example and understand the concept. So here is the code to create a donut chart. I will explain you line by line. Firstly, you have to import the Matplotlib PyPlot library as a PLT. Next, I define the X parameter as ors and define using an array. Next, I create a list called as activities. Then I create an array of colors and assign different colors to it. Then I call a pie function to create a pie chart. Firstly, I pass a ors as a parameter x. Then I pass the labels parameter and assign activities list to it. Then I pass colors parameter and assign color array to it. And in last, I pass auto PCT parameter and pass value as 1.1 f %%, which means it show one number after the decimal point. After that, I call a GCF function which is used to get the current figure axis and assign it to the pick variable. Then I call the circle function and assign it to the circle variable. And I also pass different parameters to it. The first is xy and I pass coordinate as 0, 0. The next parameter is radius. I set its value to 0.8. And last parameter I pass is FC, which means face color. And I set its value to white. The syntax of creating a circle is matplotlib pyplot.circle. Then braces start, we pass parameter xy, radius and different keyword arguments. After that, I call the pick.gca function, which means it gets the current axis of the figure. And then I extend this function by calling the add artist function and pass variable circle to it. Here the add axis function is used to add the circle in the middle of the pie. Then I call the title function and assign title to it so we know that what this donut chart represent. And I also pass C parameter to it to change the color of the title, and I also pass font size parameter to change its font size also and set it to 12. And in last I call the show function to display the chart. Now I execute this code and here is the output. You can see that it creates a donut like structure which is blank from inside. So it represents the categories in the arcs, not by the sectors. By red color arc, it represents the work, time which we donate in daily activity. The blue color arc represent we spend 33% of 24 hours in sleeping. The yellow color arc represent we spend 16.7% of 24 hours in eating, and rest of the 8.3% of time out of 24 hours we spend in other activities. So this donut represent the daily activities and the time donated. As I told you, we have to create a donut with a blank space inside it. For that reason, we create a circle by using a circle function and set its x and y coordinate to 0, 0. If I change this value, what will happen? We will see. Now I pass it as 1, 0. Now you can see that it will represent something like that. But we want to add this circle inside of the pi. That's why we pass x and y value to 0, 0. The next is the radius. If I change this value to 0.2, what will happen? You can see that this white circles drawn with the small radius. So to increase the radius, to increase the size of the white circle, we increase the radius. Again I set it to 0.80 and it will look like that. The next is the face color. Now I set it to white. If I change it to yellow, what will happen? You can see that it will change to yellow. So we want to represent the blank space, so that's why we set this to white. At that moment I pass the shorthand notation of the white color W. You can also pass it as a full color name or as a hexadecimal code of the white color. Now we want to add this circle in this pi. That's why we call the add artist function. In layman language, this add artist function pastes the figure which we pass to it on the another figure. As I pass circle to it, it will paste circle on the pi. So I hope everyone get an idea to create a donut chart. And in the next module, we will learn to create error bars in Matplotlib.